Follow the channel and stay tuned for learning videos.
Have added this DevOps basics on PDF as well. So have you got a chance to look on anyone? So here we will have what is Azure DevOps, everything, some basics will be there. Just go through it. The same video also will be there in the YouTube. I will give that link as well. So just go through it. Okay. So today what we are going to do, yesterday we have seen how to deploy CRM changes from one environment to another environment through manually through solutions, right? Today we will be seeing how general the teams will do in the CI/CD structure. CI/CD means continuous integration, continuous deployment, like that. So whenever you do anything, it will automatically pick the changes. It will automatically deploy to the target environment. Yesterday I told you, right? We will have dev environment, test environment, production environment. So it will be work accordingly. Okay. So let's do that. So basically, for typically any DevOps will be look like this only. Azure DevOps. Here you will have the devazure.com. So this dev, whatever it is there, right? This will be depends based upon your subscription, the name, organization name. Okay. Now if you see under devazure.com, if you see we have digital banking app. This is my one organization I created under my subscription. If you want to create one more organization, you can create one more. So within one organization, you can have multiple projects. Right now, I have one project. So to do the deployment today, let me create a small app. Okay, to make it deploy to CS from CSCD. I'm just creating some simple app. Start with data. Now create from blank. Create from edit model driven. This is my blank model. So here I'm using. So I just create a new model driven app. Here I've got just one page, simple dashboard page for in the navigation. Create a new page. Data was table web resource navigating link URL. This is added. I'm just official page. I just created official page. Just dot publish. So app is ready. If you see, it is added the official page. Next, you have the URL. Now click on play. It will. So this is the app. It is there in my LUT dev environment. Now I want to deploy the same to the LUT test environment, LUT production environment. Yesterday I have shown you, right, what is the URLs. So there also I want to open. Whenever you open this one, it will open this one. Okay. So for that one, I want to go with Azure DevOps CI/CD pipelines. So Azure DevOps is like a kind of host. CI/CD pipeline is a like of within the this Azure DevOps, you will have a thing for the deployment. So I'm just creating a new project to make it easy, to make it separate our changes. So what is so why do we have projects? Because in under one organization, we will have Power BI team, we will have CRM team, we have some other Fabric team, right? So to maintain those projects, we will have it. We can have it different organizations under different projects under one organization. Okay. Now once you open any under this project, you could see the boards, you could see the repos, you could see the pipelines, you could see everything, right? So for the deployment purpose, we will be using the repos and pipelines. Okay. So the basics for this one, I will give the YouTube URL, you just go through this. I explain whatever everything. What is each of one? Okay, what is board? What is repo? What is pipeline? Everything I defined. Do explain high level. So today we will go deeper into pipelines only because we want to deploy the CRM changes with pipelines. Now, if we come to pipelines, so here we don't have any first pipeline. So I want to create a pipeline. So to create any pipeline, you should have these options: GitHub control, Bitbucket Cloud, Azure DevOps repos, Git. So basically, we will use the same Azure repos, the whatever we have it in the right. So right now, if you see, do you have any repo? No, right? So first, what we need to do, if it is from the scratch, usually you will be joining in the existing project. The setup might be already there in general. Whenever you are joining a new project, the CACD setup will be already there. But to know the basics, we are doing it from scratch. Okay. So D365 CRM is empty. Add some code. So for that purpose, we can clone to your computer. You can add the plugin solution. You can add the TypeScript solution. You can check in. Okay, push an existing repository from command line. If you want to link any existing repository to this repository, you can use this command. Now, if you see here, import repository. If you want to have a local file, if you want to import, you can use this. The last one is, as we are doing from a scratch from the beginning. This is a thing we need to use. Add main branch with the readme or git ignore. So I'm just initializing this. So if you just click on it, initialize, it will check in. So if you see, the branches are created now. So here you will be having the branches, different branches, and you will be checking the branches for each developer. They will be having one branches. They will be deploying the changes. They will be moving everything. Okay. So what is our goal now? Now we want to deploy our CRM solution, which contains this app, to the next environment, right? So for that purpose, I want to create a pipeline. So when I go to pipelines, earlier it was not showing. We don't have any repository, right? But if you select now, it will able to see D365 CRM repo. Okay. So if you see here, configure your pipeline, starter pipeline, existing other pipeline. So we want to create a new pipeline as well. So for the pipeline, usually we will use YAML language, YML. Okay. So here, this is a kind of a natural language kind only, but it will have a proper format. What is the triggering point? When should the trigger? What is the pool? What is the pool means? Where is your code? Pool means this is a kind of Azure computer where it has to run. And what is the steps? Hello world, display name. These are like very basic. So in our scenario, what we need to do in this YAML, we have to connect to our source environment, LUT demo. We have to fetch the solution is SNAQL solution. Okay, go to solutions. I'm just creating a new solution, adding my changes. So we want to deploy this SNAQL CSCD solution to demo to test. Okay, so in this YAML pipeline, you should have all the information about connect to the source environment, LU to demo, connect to the fetch the respective solution, and you have to export it. And in the target, you have to import it. Whatever you did manually yesterday, today we are going to do it with pipelines. Okay, so for this one, you don't need to struggle that much. So if you don't know YAML, so that is fine. The only thing is you should know how to troubleshoot. So to write this YAML script, go to any ChatGPT or any agentic interface. You just ask like create a YAML file for deploying the CRM solutions. Okay, my target solution, my source environment. You can mention the source environment and you need to mention the target environment details. So what is my source environment? This is my source environment. LUT test. Creative. So YAML pipeline should support the solution name, because now if you have, now you are deploying the solution, after 1 month you will be developing some more solution. You shouldn't hard code the solution name, right? So YAML pipeline should support the solution name and the solution type. So whether you want to deploy unmanaged or managed, like that, you have to select. You should able to select. Should solution type supports both managed and unmanaged. So now tell me what we are writing here. Create a YAML release pipeline file. So we need to give as much as need proper details, then only it will work properly. Create a YAML file for deploying the CRM solutions. Source environment is this one. Target environment is this one. Create a YAML pipeline should support the solution name, solution type support both manager and manage. Now let's give YAML should be ready to copy paste. So there are a number of basics to be also there to having this learning ML, but you can use this agentic features. Okay. So if you see, it is generated trigger none. Whenever none means whenever you trigger, it will trigger Windows latest solution name, your solution name, solution type, managed or unmanaged. Now variables, source environment area, target environment area. So artifacts folder where it is storing initially. Install Power Platform tools, export solution from the source environment, CRM source connection, and take publishing. Then import solution to the target environment, Power Platform connection, connection. So just copy this entire YAML script and put it here. Just replace it. So this thing it's not only for CRM deployment. If you want to deploy any .NET thing, then also you can use the same thing. Okay. Now if you
Yeah,
see,
Harish,
yeah,
sorry to stop you, bro. So, how do you know that, bro? This correct information or not?
testing after
Yeah,
testing only. I'm not saying it is correct. I just took it and I
okay,
want to run it. It will get some error. I have to troubleshoot. I'm
okay,
even I
okay,
know even know what is needed to make it working directly, but I don't do directly. So if you see here, Azure DevOps service connection is required. So before running it, you should have Azure DevOps connection and you should have a required extension. All this we have to set it, then only it will work. Okay.
okay,
So to know more details, we will. So what I did, I just updated the YAML pipeline, Azure pipelines. This is ready. Now to test this YAML, whether it is my working or not, what should I do? You should go to pipelines, click on new pipeline, or you have already a pipeline, run pipeline. If you click on run, by default, it will have the only. So now if you see, now it is asking the solution name. What is the type you want to deploy? So this is what we configure. We explain to this, right? So the pipeline is supporting this. First, this is working. So solution name is, my solution name is in 𝐾𝐳𝐮𝐫𝐞. Manage solution. Next resources. Run. It will fail. I know why it is fail. Because if you see what it's saying, the pipeline is not valid. Step Power Platform export solution input power reference service connections here. These are not. We are using too many variables here. If you see, you ask your solution type we are giving the other things like install Power Platform tool. So it doesn't know, right, what does it mean. Export here CRM source connection, it doesn't know, right, what does it mean. So we have to make sure like whatever you're writing in the YAML, that should be properly configured, properly mentioned. If it is a variable, it should be there in the triggering point. If it is another standard kind of a library, you have to install it. Now it is saying install Power Platform build tools. This has to be installed. Now if you go to below, here also it is saying the same required install. So if you go to this marketplace, you need to install the you need to install this Power Platform build tools. Here you will have the export solution, import solution, everything you will be there. Okay. So to install it, we should sign into our DevOps. I'm just selecting. Now it will show what are the available projects for me within my DevOps. Get it free. If you see, this is default by it is connecting to the my organization. So for what organization you want to install? This one digital banking app, right? This is my only organization I have. Do you have any organization? Only in general you can have multiple organization, but I am selecting my own. Any questions so far? For Azure DevOps server installing, get to your download has started. To install, navigate to the server extensions page. It's done.
Harish, I have a question. So
Yeah.
this whatever tools that we are installing right now, so will it be not part of that ADO? So do we have to do it outside?
Yes, because all these are kind of a extensions. Jyoti. It won't available by default. So
Hmm.
they don't know, right? Azure DevOps supports multiple. How do they know like
Hmm.
you want to use Power Platform, or you want to use .NET library, or you want to use some other language tools?
Hmm.
So that's why we should have we need to install explicitly.
Uh, Okay.
So if you suppose if you are working for some other .NET project, that time if you want to
Hmm.
do that, then also you have to install the respective Azure things. If it is related to Azure, if it is related to Azure deployment, we will have that pipelines, right? For create
Hmm.
ARM templates will be there now. That has to also
Hmm.
installed. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now I'm going back to my. This is done right already. Get it free. Click upload new extension and select your file. Just download it. Okay. So I have to gallery manage. So what is my dev Azure? One second. Actually, whenever you install directly, it will appear there itself. For to install Power navigate to Azure DevOps server extension page and server. For example, click upload a new extensions. So where do we have extension DevOps server extensions? It's already installed. Let me uninstall Marketplace. Let me do uninstall. Didn't include which is I expected. Continue with uninstall. So usually, as it's already there, it is asking to download and install. But in general, whenever you do this search, whatever this is giving, right? Whenever you do this one, automatically it will add it to the organization. If it doesn't there, if you see it now, it is getting installed or download install. Now, if you do install, here it will be added automatically. Okay, proceed to organization. If you go to organization, it just if you refresh here, this will be available, right? So in general, first time you do, as I tried yesterday only to check everything, it is already there. So I just uninstall and reinstall. Any questions here, Jyoti? You got it right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got it, Harish.
Hmm. Now, if you see, now coming to the repos and pipeline, we want to test it. Now, we got earlier one error. We tried, it asked to install. Now, I want to try it again. So, whether it solution name, what is my solution name? This one. Next resource. Now, also it will fail, but I just want to see our task is missing. Power Platform reference call. Solution usually indicates is not correct. So, it is saying it is installed. Still, it is failing, right? So, we need to double check like whether it is ready or not. Just do a refresh. Now, if you run it again, also it will fail because whatever you are mentioning in the YAML language, it should be able to identify. Now, if you see input power platform SPN reference service connections are not identifying. If you see pipeline is not valid, step power platform exponent solution input power platform. So, if you see the script here in the pipeline, repos. So, what we have written, this is okay, parameters we are passing. Then in variables also hard coded. In general, this is also will be reading. Artifacts folder, this is the standard where the zip file stores. Okay, so first install power platform, this is we have done. Next, it is executing this one, export solution from the source environment, task solution export, display name, export CRM, authentication, power platform SPN. So if you see, these are not it is expecting as the input, means either it should able to identify it, right? If you don't mention in the above, how it will identify? So we know like we have to create a connection, because to connect to any source environment, it should have some login, right, to fetch the solution. So for that purpose, we have to create these connections. So where do you create connections? For every project, if you go to project settings, we can create the service connections. Okay, so in the service connection, you will be creating the respective thing. Suppose if you want to connect Azure Resource Manager, or if you want to connect Azure Service Manager, you will be selecting the respective. So in our scenario, we are trying to deploy the CRM, right? So we will be looking for what? Power Platform. Okay, now if you see new Power Platform service connection, it is expecting application ID, client secret, Azure Manager entity, workload. So Azure Manager is a new concept. Now we will go with application ID secret only for now. So server URL, the server URL is the URL basically typical the CRM URL. Okay, CRM source connection connected to. So this is my source. So just setting up authentication tenant ID. So to have this one, we should have a proper app ID which should have access to the CRM, right? So let's go create a Azure app ID. So I have to open another new. So I will be, that's why I choose the LT admin. For each login, Microsoft, if it is a trial or anything, Microsoft will create a tenant, right? So I have to create a new app in my tenant. Go to app registrations, come here, go to app registrations, click a new registrations. So here I want to create a CSCD app. I just want to selecting multi-tenant, because whatever the organization, this trial account for the DevOps and my CRM trial account, both are in a different tenant, not in a single tenant. So I'm using multiple enter tenant ID. Suppose if you, in general, project will have under a single tenant, so that time you will be select a single tenant only. Okay. As my trial account, trial for CRM, trial for Azure is different tenants, I am using multi-tenant register. So new app will be created. So what it is expecting here, it is expecting tenant ID, application ID, secret, right? So we should create a secret as. So basically app ID is nothing but a login for a backend application, backend service. Like suppose if you want to log into any site, we will enter the username password, right? Similarly, application side will be used for backend operations, kind of deploying changes, kind of connecting to the APIs, like that. Okay. New kind secret recommendation would be 6 months. It is created. So you have to make sure this is copying for the first time only, otherwise it will expire. Okay, now I'm copying this, put it here in the secret. I have to put application ID, right? So I'm just make sure I don't want to lose this secret value. So I'm just keeping as is in the tab. Now click on overview, get the app ID, put it here. Now get the tenant ID D460. Okay. So here CRM service connection name. So CRM service connection you can give anything, but in the pipeline you already mentioned CRM. These variables you already mentioned. So if you want, you should use the same. Otherwise it won't identify, right? So I'm using the same names. CRM service connection name. Grant access to permission pipelines. Save. So one connection is created for source. So to deploy to the target environment, we should have one more connection, right? So for that purpose, we should create one more. So here, except server URL, everything will be same. I want to use the same. Okay. So I will be using the same app ID for the target deployment as well. So suppose if it is a different hosted or different environment, they will be sharing their service connections, everything. So as we are owning both the dev and test environments, we are selecting the complete same. We are using the same app ID. Okay, application ID. So Kasim and Sanjay, it may be overflow for you, but just listen that other recording. It will be easy for you.
Yeah.
So I will just give this. Okay, Azure application design service connection we should give, right? Service connection also, whatever we mentioned in the YAML, we should give the same. Now save it. We have given everything. Grant access to all permissions. Save. Now both connections are ready. Now what else I need to do? So you created installed a tool. You have defined this connections for plot SPNs. So you defined, but you see the CRM should have access, right? So for that purpose, we need to give the access to this app IDs to the CRM. Okay. So just click on this admin power platform, go to your respective environment, then you will have users. So Sanjay, you are asking, right, from where you can add the users from this admin center. Okay, now I'm going to 𝐿 demo. So I want to create a new app user for my environment, right? So here we have to go to users. So in general, you will be having the UI login users. If you see looking for application user, click here to go to app users list. So here I want to add a new app user. So what's my app name? Sorry, add app name. So you have to search it. So it will come automatically. App ID matching. Business unit. I am giving the organization level. Security rules. You have to do the solution deployment process. You should have the system customizer. For safer side, we are giving system administrator too. So this this app user will have the both system and customizer. Click on create. So I have to repeat the same process for test environment. Now I added to the demo environment, my source environment, right? So I have to add the same to my target. What is my target? LUT test. What's my app name? D365 CRM CSV. Business unit could be anything. I'm just selecting the base. This in this environment we have only one. I'm giving the security role, system administrator, customizer. Done. Now you have in this pipeline whatever you are. So you are giving the solution name here. You are giving the mentioning the solution type. You have hard coded URLs, source and target. You have installed Power Platform. In the export solution, you have the service connection now, source connection now. Solution name it will become from output. Source environment it will come from variables. Solution output file. This is the file where it will store the zip file once it is generated. Whether it is managed or unmanaged, it will be depends based upon your selection. Publish artifacts. So basically, artifacts means it's a kind of a temporary storage for your pipelines. So whenever we are running any application, we will get the executables, we will get the zip files, right? So in the artifacts, it will be stored. Okay, if you see this left side, you will have separate artifacts section as well. So you can control the artifacts. Where do you want to store your files? Suppose we have very sensitive information that the executable want to be more secure, you can have your own folder instead of general place. Like that, you can segregate the executables all zip files. Okay, this is okay. This is it is able to identify artifact folder already defined. Now import solution to target. This also everything defined, right? So it will be deploy. It will fetch the same solution file from the zip file artifacts wherever it is mentioned. Publish. Okay, now it feel good, right? Let's try it now. Go to pipelines, go to my CRM pipeline. Now run pipeline. My pipeline YAML changes are in main branch, so I'm choosing this one. So here I have to choose my solution name. What is my solution name? Okay, I want to do it with managed because it has all. Let's assume this is a production deployment. Otherwise, you can select unmanaged also. Anything is fine. Just select whatever you need. Now run. So now what happened earlier, you have got error, some error. Now it is not, you are not getting any errors at least. So we are into good stage. Now if you expand this stages, here if you see, you will have this kind of initialized setup is there. And if you see, you have the jobs are there. So let's run it. If you see, you are in checkout D365 CRM, export solution, publish solution, import solution, publish solution. So to do any CRM import, CRM solution deployment, first thing we will install the Power Platform tools to our pipeline, because every time whenever you run this build, it will run in a different host, different pools. It's not guaranteed like every time it will run a single machine. That's why every time we will install NuGet packages, we will install the Power Platform tools, whatever we need it to build our solution. So that is done. Now export CRM solution. So in this solution, it will connect to the source environment. It will get the zip file and it will put the artifact side. So in the public solution artifact, it will put it. So let's run it. Any questions so far, Sanjay, Qasim, Jyoti?
I have a question. So we will be creating release pipelines and build pipelines. No, what are those actually? I didn't remember that properly.
Yeah, I will tell. So so earlier we used to have a separate concept, Jyoti. Build pipelines use it for build the executables. Release pipeline meant for deploying. Now they combined into single. That's why if you see, whenever you click on the here, earlier we used to have, when you click on the new pipeline, it used to ask whether you want to build the pipeline or release the pipeline. But if it is now, it is directly asking the source repo. What is the repo you want to deploy? Now if you see, you are selecting the repo. So here start, these are the templates you will have. So for I am just took the empty template. Suppose if you want to deploy function app. it will, if you select this one, .NET Core Function App. So you should have a proper subscription to connect this one. Like that, you will select. So earlier it used to have a build pipeline, release pipeline separate. After YAML, everything in one only. Within same pipeline, you will be doing the build. Suppose if you are deploying .NET, however you are connecting to the source and fetching the artifacts, right? So for the .NET projects, you will be building that .NET solution. You will generate the DLL or executable, right? So in this step, it will generate the artifact. So whatever the DLL generated, that you will store it in the artifacts. You will be using it in the next step. Understand?
Okay. Yeah,
So
please.
earlier it used to have a separate. The first of all, earlier we don't have this YAML. Earlier we used to have kind of power automate structure, like add NuGet, get an install NuGet packages task, like that we used to have. Now I think here also, if you click on new pipeline, Azure repos, select repo. So if you see, these are the tasks. If you see in the left side, I just used ChatGPT and copy pasted everything. But if you want to create a YAML from you on your own end to end scratch, so you can mention what is the trigger when it should trigger. You can mention what is the VM image. I mean, you need Ubuntu or you need Windows, you need iOS, Apple OS. Like that, you can define. Then steps. So here in the steps, what you want to do, you need to define one by one. Suppose if it is a console application, .NET project you have to choose. So if you choose .NET Core, so what use .NET Core or some, we don't have .NET. One second, console application. Do we get console? .NET framework. I don't know why you're not getting framework changes. Usually we should get the whatever the thing. So .NET Core, build test package, .NET application, Azure service, .NET Core. Let's select, if we select this one, so it will ask subscription. So if you add this one, see this is .NET Core added. So to deploy any .NET related, first you have to install NuGets because it will have some dependencies, right? So here you have to do, so from the solution only it will fetch the NuGet project JSON. It will try to install every package it needed. Like that it will okay.
Okay.
Now let me go back to my pipeline. Where is my pipeline? It is done. Sorry. Job. It is executed. Export service CRM solution done. Publish solution to artifact done. Import CRM solution done. Now, what is my environment here? LE2 demo, right? So I will switch to my test environment to see my changes. So it's not appearing here. Why? Because it's a managed. SNAQ SSD 4 minutes ago. It's deployed. So like this, you will be using Power Platform tools in the pipelines for deploying the CRM solutions. It could be managed or it could be unmanaged. You can choose. Now, one more point I want to cover here. So here in the pipeline, here we are seeing stages, right? So in general, why we will have where we will use stages, because so the same pipeline, the same run, you want to use it for the deploying to the test environment. So you deploy to test the same pipeline. I want to add. I want to use to deploy it for a production environment. Assume. Okay. So that time purpose, you want to use the same run, right? Same pipeline run. So that will create a different stage. Next, it will create a production stage. So once UAT the test is done, test validation are done. If you are okay with to deploy to deploy to production, you will be accepting this production stage, so that will be deployed. Let's try to add it. So here in this ChatGPT only, I want to have stages separately for as we have a single stage, it is as we have a single source and target environment, it is given like that. And what is the other URL? LUT prod consider as second target. I want to hash a server LUT, and so make necessary changes to YAML pipeline script. Also add what you call approval for deploying to. So what it will do, I am asking, earlier we have given only one source and one target. Now I am asking to consider one more environment for the second target. Okay. And I also want to have a staging control. Suppose only managers want to deploy to the production, or only FTs want to deploy to the production. That kind of control if you want. So also add a approval for deploying to the LUT prod environment. So I just rerunning the same thread for ChatGPT. So it will be do the necessary. Windows latest solution name, target production environment. It is added one more variable. Export solution source will be same, CRM dev connection. Power platform dev. So it is so now earlier it is a CRM source connection. It is, you have to make sure like you are using the same. Again, otherwise it will fail. Source environment same. Deploying to test stage 2. Stage 3 deploy to prod. Import solution prod, CRM prod connection. Okay. Dev connection, test connection, production. So I will use this two. I will create a new one more. Install. This is configure prod approval environment CRM prod approvers manual checks like this. Okay. Go to pipelines environments CRM prod. Now let's see. Let's copy. Try to copy paste this one. Go to, so whenever you want to update any changes in the pipeline, you have to go to the repos only, because our YAML is, any file will be stored in ADO in the, that is in the repo only. It could be code file or yeah, pipeline file, everything. So I'm just updating, copy pasting, replacing everything. Now what I want to do, so first thing, export solution, I will just use this, I will just rename these connections because it is given differently. You can mention in the pipeline also, use as is CRM connections, different and new connection for target. Like that also you can mention. How much you give the prompt, it will work that efficiently. So if you don't give, it will assume every time, it will think differently. Okay, CRM source connection, source environment, it will pick no issues. Publish artifacts, deploy to test also. I will go with CRM target connection only. Okay, Power Platform SPN CRM target. Do we have CRM solution? Control F. Dev is updated all places, right? Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to create one more service connection, because I want to connect to a different environment, right? Whenever you want to connect different environment, you should have a one more connection. Let's repeat it. So what is my URL? So I'm doing whatever it is given in the this ChatGPT only, but I'm able to judge it. So I'm able to understand the prompts. I'm able to understand the commands, instruction, whatever it is given. So that's why we need knowledge. So if everything is doing by ChatGPT, what is the role? Because you should able to judge it. You should able to cross check it. Okay, whether the steps whatever given are possible or not. Sometimes because ChatGPT will give the solution, but that won't exist even. That won't work even. Like that also it will give. That time if you try that, if you have some good knowledge, then only you can tell it. Okay. CRM port connection. I'm using as is. So now this one works. Second export stage to stage 3 deploy to prod. Environment CRM prod artifact to install import solution. CRM same connection, same name I have given. So now it's good, right? So I have to commit the changes. So in generally, this commit also will happen from the Visual Studio local. That is a different learning. It's not come on the pipelines. Okay, now let's go back to pipeline, new pipeline. Just read, sorry, we have to trigger the existing only. This is our pipeline, run pipeline, solution name. I'm using the same name. Run CRM test couldn't be found. The environment doesn't exist. So you need to check this. So whenever you have any errors in the pipelines, it will give like this. What did I miss? CRM test couldn't found. CRM hyphen test. Environment CRM test. It's not defined source environment here. So let's try to fix it with the ChatGPT only. So to make it easy for you guys. So what it the error it is getting run pipeline. So you can do your own analysis or you can use any tool. That's fine. Run. So CRM prod couldn't be found. The environment doesn't exist or has not been authorized to use. So where do you mention these environments? Why it is coming first of all? Because I asked for the approval, right? So in the in our Azure DevOps, we will have a concept called environments. So if you give this error to because Azure DevOps reference environments that doesn't exist. YAML CRM environment, CRM test, create a test environment, C pipelines environments. This like this we have to create. So go back to pipelines, click on environments. We don't have an environment. Create the environment. Here it is giving the steps. Resource none. So this is kind of a grouping, nothing do with anything. Resource none only suggested. I'm going as is. Next thing, create production. One more click. Create CRM prod. This is not mandated to use environments. Why it is asked? Because I asked the approval, right? So here in the approval, you can check the approval. Who can approval? So suppose if I name my name, if I approve only, it will deploy to production. All approvers must approve. For the test environment, first test environment deploy, I don't want any approval, so I will ignore. So this is kind of a control. You are creating some environment and grouping them, and you are controlling the all approvals and other things. Okay. For that purpose, we will be using. Okay. Any questions here? Cool. So now we will go back to here. We will just do a refresh. Run pipeline again. Selecting the solution name again. Next resource. Run. So you should understand the difference. Earlier it wasn't a single stage, everything come under single stage, import, export, everything. Now export is a separate stage, deploy to test is separate stage, deploy to prod. So to deploy to prod, the changes should be deployed to test, it should be verified, then only you can use the same run for releasing to production. So meanwhile, what should I do? I have to add my account to this as well, right? So where is my power platform center? This is okay. I will add my new user to the production environment as well. Go to app users, from users, app users list, new app user, add an app, D365 CRM. Add it, define business unit, define, give the security roles. Good to have administrator and customizer. Save it. Now, meanwhile, if we go back, it's permission needed. The pipeline needs permission to access the resource before this run can. So if you like this, it will ask for permit. I asked for only production only, but it is asking for test as well. So something wrong in the ChatGPT given code. So that's how if you try and if you do explore, try and explore, you will understand. So if you mention here install build tools, deploy to test, strategy, input solution, authentication, solution, async, skip product dependency, override customizations, authentication type. We didn't mention anywhere. Just we need to compare the difference between production and configure approval in Azure deployment. Deploy to test, it shouldn't ask anything actually. And manual approval from. Maybe I think for the stages it will ask default. We need to check that. Okay. Let's see the behavior for staging, how it will behave. Production stage. So I'm trying to import the same solution to the test. What will happen if you are using manual solution, you are deploying the same version? Will it fail or will it succeed? First thing. Have you tried, Sanjay? Yesterday, so managed solution concepts. I am using the same version number because I didn't do any upgrade or anything. This is 1.00. This is already there in the target. And you are deploying it again with the same version. What will happen? Jyoti, will it fail or run successfully? Same version number trying to import managed. What will happen? You can see the stage, individual shell, it is import solution, publish customer. It is deploying, finalize the job. So if you see the each task, you will see the details, what happened, everything. Finishing, publishing customization, connected to the LU to test, publish, complete. So for each thing, it will have a proper info what is being happening. Now if you see deploy test completed, now it is expecting permission. So here same like it is expecting other. So earlier we got only single permission. Now if you see it is having two. Why? Because I asked explicit, right? I need the production staging permission. So for each stage the approval is default. The basic approval is needed for each stage. On top of it we asked for the extra configuration, right? So for that purpose we ask, right, also add approval for this environment. So that's why you got one more additional. So you have to deploy to the target, you have to complete permit, you have to click on this both. This is environment level, this is service connection level. Okay, permission granted, assign. Okay, now so I'm not getting a approval option. Can you tell anyone why I'm not getting approval option? Because I logged in with a different user. Okay, so to approve this, I have to be with that line. Whoever logged in, they can, this LT admin account can give the sign off, right? So you should be logged in with this account. Reassign to, I will assign to myself only. This current reassign. Now I will get a approve options. Getting. So whatever you got that permit, right? That is not approval. That is kind of service connection permission access and environment access. Okay. The earlier that is not approval. I just confused. Okay. Are we clear? So this is the real-time projects will be using the pipelines for the deploying. It could be 2 stages, it could be 3 stages, depending upon the environments they have. Okay, but this is the general structure they will follow. Import solution, export solution, publish all customization. This is failed. Last stage is failed. Why? Can't resolve enter ID what means you can just copy paste this, put it in ChatGPT. Why it is failing? It will only, this is not with the YAML. This is wrong URL, you mean? What is the URL we have given? LUT Pro to CRM8 only. This is not there. What is my production URL? LUT Prod only. Apps. Let's play this. CRM8. Okay, sorry. I don't have product. I gave the wrong. I should give this ideally. Okay, so what should I do now? I have to update the YAML pipeline, right, to cover the to fix it. Where I'm mentioning, here I'm mentioning. So I will remove, cannot edit it. Remove, commit, updated. Now tell me, now what will happen? You made updates to pipeline, but this run is already triggered. If you rerun this stage, will it succeed or will it fail? Approval is needed. By default, it is with I will add my user as well. Reassign. The changes will up. So if you consider Let's see, let it run, you will understand. So this pipeline is triggered already with old YAML script, right? So if you make the changes now and if you commit that also, it won't affect. That's why if you see the you changed the approver as well, right? It's not it is expecting still with my login only, the LT admin login. Like that it will work. Import solution. See same because same like so once pipeline is triggered, it will take the latest. It will take the whatever the YAML it is there while triggering. So to fix any YAML script to run it again, you have to create a new pipeline. So I'm just doing again managed run. Now same thing. Now for deploying test it won't ask any permission or any approval because I didn't mention it. Earlier it is whatever it asks, right? That is a access permission, not a approval. Approval permission. Okay. Let it done. Any questions, Kasim?
Harish, I'm getting a blank. Actually, this is my first class size pipelines. So I need to,
This is the
yeah,
first class only. I think this is new for everyone. Sanjay also.
okay, okay.
Because I didn't
Bum,
yesterday I
bum,
covered just manual deployment. Today I just shared the pipeline, how we are doing the pipelines.
okay.
That's why I'm using as much as ChatGPT. I'm not doing anything my own. If you see, have I did anything own?
No.
Because to know to make sure how to use the tools, whatever we have, the flexibility. I'm not forcing you to learn. Yeah. So to learn YAML also, we'll have a lot of things. How to we can. So here to write the script also, we should know some basics. What is trigger? What is parameter? What is variable? Nothing we are doing manually. So that's what I
So here,
hmm.
Harish, I mean, what I observed is you are you are checking in Azure. It is integrated with the three, I mean, DevOps, Azure,
Obviously.
and
Now if you
one.
say
Yeah.
Microsoft itself is linked to everything. That's why we will say Office 365,
Oh,
Dynamics 365. 365 means
okay,
complete circle.
okay.
So it will
So
try
here
to
I'm
use
getting
it.
some
He
confusion.
has his cloud service, then he will use obviously his cloud only. Why will he go for Amazon? He has his DevOps product.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously he will use DevOps product only. Why he will go for some Jira or some other Docker?
Yeah.
Getting Microsoft
Yes,
has
yes.
its own means. Obviously it will use their own, right? Deploy it's deploying to test now. It's not asking any permission now because we don't have any approval for it. But once after it's deploying to test for the production, it will wait for approval.
Okay. There is a way, I mean, there is a process, Harish. First, we need to go to CRM. After that, we need to go to Azure. After that, we need to go to DevOps. Like, is there any way, I mean,
No, no,
process
no.
wise
So
or
there is nothing process. Even with the errors, trial and errors, you can try. So what did I ask in the chart?
okay?
Create a YAML pipeline for deploying CRM solutions. I have given the source
Yeah.
environment. I have given the target. YAML pipeline should support the solution name, solution type. YAML ready to copy paste. Then it is given. Azure DevOps service connections required. If you read this line, you will just do the service connections and you will add it. If you without
Yes,
you
yes.
didn't read it, you just copied paste, you will get an error. That time, if you come and paste the error, then still you will get that steps again how to add the
Okay.
connection.
Mm-hmm.
So it will ask for extension. If you install the extension, you will do it. If you don't install, also it will get an
Okay.
error. You have to come here and you have to ask it. So again, it will give the steps
Okay.
like that only.
Mm.
The first thing is
Yeah.
you start only, you will make some progress by just seeing, listening 100 recordings won't. If you do create
Yeah.
a Azure DevOps trial account, do it, then you will know. So if you see it,
Yeah.
deploy to test done. For deploy to production, it is waiting for approval. Now, if you click on review now, Earlier, I didn't get the approve option because I was added only LT admin. Now I added myself as well. That's why I'm getting this approval. If you want to reject, you don't want to deploy, you can reject it. Defer approval. You can, if you don't want to, if you want to assign to someone else, you can do that. Done.
Mm.
So now it will deploy the production as well. It is running. Deploy to it's waiting, right? So it will be done. I think it is expecting 2 people. Huh? Yeah, as I had to do it, it is asking 2 people. It's not. We can mention that you want a single approval or to double approval, like that you can mention. So everything is a kind of learning only. If you want to learn swimming, you have to get into water. Then only you will know. By seeing from
Yes.
the shore, it will be like same. If you see for 100 days also, you won't get.
Right, right. Practice makes man perfect.
That is common, but that is true. But what you are doing for that is matters.
Yeah.
Let it run. We will conclude. Actually, I did a kind of POC to explain clearly to make it easy, simple. Yesterday, before logging off, I just tried. Import solution. It is earlier it was failed, right? Because of wrong URL. Now it won't fail. It will work. So if you go to production here, apps, or you can see it from solution level as well. All. Okay, name is production, but URL doesn't have the prod. That's the mistake I did. SNIQ 14 seconds ago. Deployed, right? If you go here, it will be succeeded publishing the customization. So any questions? So once everything is run, this for this also it will be green tick mark.
In interview, most of the questions we will get from this topic only, right? I hope.
Yeah, and they will ask the deployment process. When you are saying you are a CRM developer, they will ask how do
Mm.
you deploy CRM changes. Okay. So if you see this pattern also we can configure the pipeline, everything we can configure in the project settings. How do you want to generate? So usually it is taking date time, today's date and the number of run. Whenever you trigger each time, it is coming as a point 1, point 2, point 2, point 3, right? With an after date. So if you don't want this kind of number, if you want to have some kind of static number or some kind of pattern, you can define that as well. So everything will become under project settings. So in this Azure DevOps, you will have a lot of things: boards, repos, pipelines, test plans, artifacts. So we just use the repos for operating YAML, but we extensively use the YAML, right? We created pipeline, we created environment and libraries. So in these libraries, you will be having the, if you want to define anything, you will be defining here like kind of a new gates, anything if you want to mention. Here we will be having this kind of a vault or kind of a storage. You will define here. Let's
Harish, in the annual pipeline, you mentioned the parameters, no? So what are those parameters? From where we are getting these values?
so in the script itself, you have added na Jyoti. What should I edit pipeline? So here you are giving params, solution name,
Mm.
your solution default, solution type. Here you are giving string. values. So we are giving, so whatever the params you are defining, that will trigger, that will ask while running solution name, solution default solution name,
Acha, got it, got
solution type, one more parameter variable.
it.
I asked for it should support only manager and manager, right? So even though it is a
Hmm.
string, values it is taking only manager and manager only, because it's not a free
Hmm.
text. If you don't
Hmm.
give values, it will consider as a free text. You can enter whatever you want. So
Got it.
everything you will be mentioning only, and the others, the environment URLs are hard coded. In general, for each stage also, it could, they can hard code, or they can, suppose if we want to have a single stage, I can ask the URL target URL, like that you can define. Okay.
Okay.
So,
And also, after the export is complete, I think that will be the solution will be stored in the artifacts, no? So, is it like
yes,
normal zip file or what other
normal
details we have in an artifact? So,
normal chip only. No, no, no. I will, let me show deleted feeds. No, no. If you go to pipeline, whatever the executed one, so it is saying now
mm,
exported one artifact. If you see here, it is showing one
mm,
artifact. If you directly click on this one,
mm,
CRM solution, SNIQ CSED managed, because I have selected managed. So managed.
mm.
So if you download this one, this is a typical CRM zip solution.
Okay.
Whatever you are doing manually, right, content solution.
Mm, yes,
So
yes.
whatever you are doing manually, pipeline is doing that thing. Simple.
Oh,
So it is
got
showing this. So this is the artifacts. Suppose if you want to store this artifacts as a specific folder somewhere where everyone has access, or you want to maintain segregated, that time you will be creating your own artifacts folder. You will be creating everything. This one, okay?
mm.
Say no then. Thank you.